Hey everybody! So I am talking to you from the future of this video. This is my October video for now for my vlog for my Potter's vlog, and my October, I guess every month for me is pretty busy. But it was one of my biggest shows of the year, which is Great Western War, which was a camping event several days long in Bakersfield, California. The city's called Taft, and I was camping with about 1,500 of my closest friends, I guess you can say. And that was about the second week of October. So I had been working very hard from September through to October to build up stock, and all of my stock was historical recreation type products, which are jugs and pipkins, medieval cookpots, and um, vessels that are researched, mostly inspired from German stoneware finds pre-17th century, as well as some English pieces. But for the most part, they were German stoneware. I have a number of ways I handle the glazes on them. I don't and can't do salt fire in the Los Angeles area. And unfortunately, there's emission laws. I guess, unfortunately or fortunately for the air quality and for humanity, so we're not breathing constantly pollution. We are, but not this bad. Salt turns to a type of chlorine gas, and which is bad. It's not good. Um, and I don't have a soda kiln, so I could probably go to AMOCA, which is actually in Pomona. It's the American Ceramics. It's a museum for ceramics. It's one of the largest in the area, and it's a pretty cool place. But it's an hour away, and yeah, the timing of everything is a little crazy, and for me it would be expensive. So I tend to use my electric kiln. And I mean, the good news with the electric kiln is I have a really nice one. I actually have two of them. I've had for years. My larger one, which is a Scut, is I think I got it back in, I think, 2017, right around there, 2016. And then my old trusty Scut, I bought that around probably 2003 ish, right around there. And that's a much smaller Scut, which I used to do this event using. And I can't imagine. I just rotated out my smaller kiln like crazy, and it didn't really hold a lot. So now that I've got the larger kiln, it is kind of fantastic to be able to kind of switch back and forth between the kilns. As one is cooling, I can switch the other one on when it's in a crunch, and so which is what what I was doing the week before the event. Crunch time. That is a euphemism for crazy. Let's rotate and get as much work done and fired and glazed and refired as possible. With me, I try to fill a kiln so that I'm saving money, even though the cost of the actual firing isn't that bad, isn't as bad as in the past, but my power bills are really insane here where I live. So I really try to fire everything as much as I can all together. And also, generally speaking, you really want to do that with a kiln firing, so that even heating happens, and overall you have better firings when it's full. And there's a lot of chemistry involved, which I'm not going to go into. Um, However, it's just part of scheduling and trying to figure out what fires first and what fits in the kilns and how many pieces I can go, which is a whole another subject, which I'm not sure if anybody really wants me to talk about or not. If you are, let me know. Leave a comment below. However, while I was working, I tend to do a lot of bisque first, a lot of making as much throwing as possible and adding handles and doing decorative work and doing as much of the actual making as possible in the wet form. And it's the end, the closer to the show is when I start really doing the glazing, because with my historical work, there's only like maybe 2 different glazes that I use or I rotate through mostly. So it's pretty easy to just sit down and just get to it, get through one or two or three of the glazes that I've got. And I'll be showing here the bisque and some of my fired work, and then I made a whole bunch of lidded cook pots, which came out really great. I did do a different technique as far as how I'm making the lids, and I did very tight measurements and ended up having to sand off the ridges of the gallery, of the, well, inside gallery, I guess, is that still called a gallery? No, the gallery on the inside of a piece is that lip that goes in that holds the lid. It keeps it separate. Anyway, so the inside lip of the actual lid, I sanded, and I used a diamond core tool and just ground, and that was really a little frustrating. It worked out perfect, and the final product was great. And every lid that I did that the way I did, which was basically measuring the weight of the clay, measuring all of the, setting one measurement for all of the pots, and so all the pots I was throwing all had the same measurements, which is something I have never done before. I just would just throw whatever, and just made lids every single time. So none of it ever really, it didn't really matter as much, but I just want to be a lot more consistent with my work so that it all has that kind of same size, same kind of look. Some of it's a slightly different handles and so forth, but I just wanted more overall consistency of my work, at least. And I got some really cool shapes with a lot of the cook pots. And those cook pots all are good with putting on coal fires. And they are cone 10 fully vitrified. So like technically they can have a open flame, but I don't sell it like that. I just let people know that they are okay for hot coals and ovens. Everything's fine. They have little feet on the bottom, and they're all based off of historical finds. Most of those ones are English finds. And I always glaze. My work because it's easier to clean, makes it more food safe, and looks better and just more finished. I hate leaving clay unglazed. It's just, you never know how people are going to use the pieces, and you don't want to make people sick or have problems with it. And I've had some pieces that I underfired as a I was just testing. I'm always doing new things, so that's pretty much me experimenting. And anyway, so the event itself was really actually kind of pretty nice. The weather was very warm the first few days, and next few days after that actually cooled down. It was beautiful on the last few days. The last, like, I would say Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Those were like the best days, and at night they were really cool nights and not cold. So that was a plus. The first days I got there on the Wednesday and I set up and it was in the 90s. Pretty miserable. I was pretty miserable and very concerned because I don't deal well with heat. I mean, how many people really do? But it was a little challenging. The merchant steward that was in charge of assigning spaces put me under some large mature trees, which was amazing. My tent situation, while I did buy a new cover, it still didn't block all of the sun. So it's just a lot better in general to be under where it was. And I was very, very lucky because I would walk through the unshaded areas and it was pretty brutal. So this was, it was a really good experience. I got to see a lot of my friends and sold pretty decently. I always worry about how much I can get done. I only really had a month ahead to bring stock up, which was really not enough time. Usually I would spend three months ahead of any big show like this one and just crank out as many pots as I possibly can. And this isn't to say I didn't have a good stock situation, but I always feel like I could always do more. So there's that. I also was building up work for my November gallery showing that I have with my sculptures, which much of what I was making I can't bring and try to sell at the SCA events, the Society for Creative Anachronism events that I do. I'm in this historical society. It's worldwide. So if you ever have any questions on that, you can always ask me. I can give in the comments below, and I can give you more information on this pre-17th century geekery that I'm involved in. However, I was at least able to do the show, and I had a friend that helped me with quite a lot of what I was working on. And generally speaking, it was a very nice event, and sold quite a lot of inventory. And I'm just really glad of being able to get that done. So I'm not going to chat too much longer because I just want to get this out and so I can focus on my November, which is the gallery show I'm mentioning. If you have any questions about any of the video or any of what I've talked about, feel free to put it in the comments below. Also, if you find Potter's vlogs interesting or learning from and or connecting with Potters, feel free to hit that follow button, like, comment below, whatever you'd like to do. Anyhow, you've survived all that rambling, and here we are at the end of my ramble for now. Enjoy my October, and if you have any feedback, questions, all that, you know where to put all the comments. Reach out and take care. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Master Alexander Kalinoko.
I love it.
Well, we all see you next week.
Always
Line up at the end, and then everybody else goes on the other side of the room.
Hello, puppers. Oh, oh, oh.
Rabbit, I think, run across the ground up there, or maybe it was a big squirrel. I think there aren't as many people here yet. I think
Yeah, that's fair. That doesn't all my legs. Yeah.